Just let you know we're going to begin in 2 minutes. 2 minutes. We just finished the keynote over in Hedgecock. Everyone's making their way, so we're going to begin in 2 minutes. Thanks for your patience, everybody. Hello, how we doing? Oh my gosh, that lunch was great, but that was not. All right, everybody, good afternoon. How we doing? Yeah, all right, we're getting there. Peak 25, welcome to the big pitch in the Outdoor Innovation Fund Outdoor Pitch. We're so excited to have you here today. We're going to see some great new ideas from amazing people that have put their hearts and souls into a lot of exciting things. Again, my name is Bill Dignite. I'm the director of SISU, the Innovation Institute here at NMU. Peak 25, we've produced this jointly with Innovate Marquette. There's so many partners and sponsors. We have this amazing slide up here, but Centropolis Accelerator, Tailored Accounting, Embers Credit Union, Innovate Marquette, Michigan STEM Network, NMU College of Business, NMU Grad Studies, and so on and so forth. So many people, we've thanked them all, but if I missed someone, I'm sorry. We're gonna have some great giveaways that we're gonna do at the end of this while the judges are totaling all the scores. We have some huge checks that are gonna come out. We have tens of thousands of dollars of prizes that will go to our big pitch winners supporting our NMU students. And for the Outdoor Innovation Fund, we have up to $50,000 to give away today. So our crowd voting, everything that we're gonna do today is really, really meaningful and exciting. So I would like you to have a thunderous applause and some excitement as I introduce our judges. So our first judge, let's hope I do this right. Oh yeah, hold on. You also get to enter to win a 3D printer. We're giving away a 3D printer today. Use the slides, Bill. Use the slides. I asked someone to do this, and they knew I was going to mess it up. All right, so fail forward, baby. We do have a 3D printer and a bunch of other great raffle prizes that we'll give away to all of you. So stick around. And at the end, I want to make sure that you already know you're invited to a complimentary reception to talk to all these inventors, innovators, and creatives about what they're doing. We want you to connect with the people around you and have a lot of fun. Okay, so introducing our judges, I'd like to introduce first Jim Baker, who's the Senior Associate VP for Research, Innovation at Michigan Technological University and Managing Director of the Michigan Outdoor Innovation Fund, powered by InvestUP. Let's make some noise. Up next, we have Diane Durrance, Interim CEO, Headwaters North, Sault Ste. Marie Smart Zone. Woo! Big round of applause to Carol Johnson, the John and Shirley Berry Dean of the College of Business here at Northern Michigan University. Dan Radomski, CEO of Centropolis Accelerator. Make some noise. And Jim Tenzillo, Managing Director of Michigan Outdoor Innovation Fund, founder, New Ventures Consulting, LLC. I would now like to, nope. Take me back, somebody. There we go, okay. Sorry, they should not give me this clicker. I'd now like to introduce someone that really has helped in the big pitch and helping these students be ready for you today to share their amazing ideas. So if we could give a big round of applause to Dr. Corinne Bodman as she shares a few thoughts.
Thanks, Bill. I really appreciate this. I'm one of the professors of entrepreneurship here at Northern. There's another professor who's in a meeting and he can't attend. But one of the things I'd like to share with you ever so briefly about entrepreneurship is there's a theory in entrepreneurship called effectuation, and my students are already starting to shake because I make them learn this. And effectuation, one of the tenets of effectuation is collaboration. Entrepreneurs collaborate, they don't compete. And I have seen this semester really in action as my group of students, and I'll introduce them in a second, have worked together to make this come to be, and also the collaboration with some other entities. And I want to call some of those people out. First and foremost, Michigan Tech University. I know we're at Northern, but we couldn't be doing what we're doing without Michigan Tech because they allow us some of their technology that my business students are learning to commercialize and bring to market. So thank you to Michigan Tech. I also want to call out the Department of Fine Arts and in particularly the Pottery Department, Mr. Brian Kakis. He is, in fact, frantically building some of the product that we're going to be pitching to you today. And we couldn't do it without our fine arts department, and we also couldn't do this work without our without the help from the engineering department and Joe Ruthier. So we're all about collaboration here at Northern. We're working together. It's a wonderful experience, and my students couldn't be here without their help. But most importantly, like I said, students or entrepreneurs collaborate, they don't compete. And I have never, in the time I've been doing this, seen 4 young men come together and help each other out the way these 4 have. And it has been an inspiration to see them work together and collaborate. So I would like to introduce them. First would be Chris Anderson. Chris is a senior, almost a senior, his first semester senior. He's got 1 more to go. And Chris is presenting a product that Michigan Tech has been very gracious in letting him take over. We have Sergi Blackwood. Sergi is graduating, and he'll be graduating in May. We're already planning his graduation party. Adam Hopp. Adam is a junior, and I can't get him to come to the dark side yet. He keeps wanting to be in sports marketing. I'm like, no, come to the dark side. And then Evan Talent. And Evan is using one of the products that we've been working on outside in a fellowship program. And I have just one more point, and I know this has been going long, and I appreciate you listening to me. But innovation is really, really important. We know innovation is important. But what we forget about is getting it to market. You can innovate all day long. If you can't get it to market, what good is it going to do? And my young men here, my students, have focused on 100%. What do we do with this innovation, and how do we get it to market? So I want you to appreciate that as they pitch their ideas to you. So thanks again. I've talked too much. My students already know that I do this. And enjoy their presentations.
Thank you, Dr. Boatman. What great words. And again, that innovation to implementation, wow, that is an amazing point, and I think I've heard that talked about a lot this week. It's great to dream about it, but hopefully we're here to do as well. So let's get started with our first big pitch presenter. We're going to see each one of them come up and talk to you. So I'd like you to make a thunderous applause. Let's give him a warm welcome to the big pitch to Christopher Anderson, our first presenter.
Thank you. Good afternoon, everybody, and thank you for being here today. My name is Chris Anderson, and I am very excited to introduce to you Recycle Technologies, an advanced recycling company that transforms hard-to-recycle plastics and mixed paper fibers into high-value alternative fuel pellets that can, moving on. So for the problem, coal, biomass, and other fossil fuels present 3 major challenges. First, governments are continuously cracking down on these types of fuels, forcing industries to transition away from these and cleaner alternatives that are often costly and can be proven otherwise ineffective. Next, transportation and storage of coal and other fossil fuels present a challenge because of the self-heating properties and the moisture problems that can degrade the fuel over time. And also, coal prices change all the time, and biomass requires sustainable sourcing in order to fuel that, and that can lead to supply chain issues and price volatility. So industries are looking for a solution that is cost-effective, efficient, and efficient, and Recycle has created that exact solution. A synthetic coal that is made from hard-to-recycle plastics and mixed paper fibers. Our proprietary technology pre-processes municipal solid waste and post-industrial products in order to create a high-value alternative fuel pellet. This proprietary technology also removes the chlorine, organics, and other contaminants, making it a very clean burning fuel. Some of the main unique value propositions we offer to our customers. First, our co-located facilities will massively cut down on transportation costs, and the torrefied pellet does not self-heat, requiring very little maintenance during storage. Next, our high energy content of the fuel is 10 to 13% more efficient than bituminous coal and upwards of 18% more efficient than our competitors. This will in turn allow users to cut back on overall fuel usage, all while maintaining the same energy and production output they require. Finally, their life cycle assessment has proven that our produced pellet has net negative carbon emissions, and this helps industries cut costs that are associated with these types of emissions and also extend the life of their equipment that they're using for production processes. So for our market size, there's a huge market opportunity for recycle. In Q3 of 2024 alone, there were 120 million tons of coal used in the United States at an average price of $100 per ton across these various industries. So for our beachhead market, we are going after cement kilns for the fact that they are actively seeking alternatives and have the need for large amounts of fuel. For our sum, we are looking for cement kilns in northern Indiana and lower Michigan, and these equate to over 175,000 tons of fuel needed for production, and this will equate to nearly $20 million a year in reoccurring revenue. So how will we make this money? On the front end of our business, we'll have recycling services that will produce tipping fees and processing fees that will significantly reduce the cost of producing the pellet. And on end users, we will hope to secure long-term contracts with cement and steel producers that will assure reoccurring long-term revenue. We will also sell directly to various different end users of the pellet, and depending on the input, as far as plastics and paper, we will also be eligible for carbon credits. Additionally, we will have licensing agreements with waste processing and manufacturers in order to scale recycle quickly without intensive capital costs. So our main competition consists of Convergent Energy and Pellet America, both which are located in Green Bay, Wisconsin. Recycle plans to use a competitive pricing model that will offer a premium product at a competitive price. As you can see on the competitive map there. And also, some of the traction that we have validated customer need through a variety of customer discovery calls. We have a minimum viable product and have completed the I-Core program over in October. Our company hopes to go through the AMP Accelerator program through the MTech Smart Zone this summer in Houghton. And through that, we hope to secure contracts for a pilot scale facility to further validate testing and to continue to validate the technology. Sorry about that. And so my wonderful team we have put together, myself, the CEO and co-founder, our wonderful inventor, Ezra Barzeev, and my amazing board of advisors, Brad Austin, Dr. Corinne Bodman, Nate Yanor, and Gene Bina. Thank you guys so much for listening.
So now it is our time for Q&A. You still need that mic.
Sorry about that.
So we have 5 minutes of questions, we have questions now from our judges. So our judges have microphones. We're going to be able to listen to Christopher speak now and answer those questions.
Great presentation.
Thank you.
Excellent work on preparing it. I'm curious, have you talked to some of the cement plants like Lafarge, Holcim, and they even have plants here like in Alpena, and have they told you what they're paying for their current supply of fuel and what price points do you need to be at?
So basically the price point they're looking for is something that's comparable to coal. I didn't get an exact price point for them, but that's why I compared it with the $100 average of price ton. That was the main sticking point, was the price point, and we are able to compete on that price.
And follow-up question, is the expectation that you have to deliver that fuel to them, or would they pick it up and bring it?
We would be delivering the fuel to them.
Thank you.
Yep.
Can you walk through the unit economics of the product?
What the cost per ton would be?
Yeah, all your costs, and then what you'd be looking to charge for it.
Okay, so initial costs as far as capital, our pilot scale facility was about $500,000 to generate that. Our techno analysis that was done at scale, the techno analysis shows about $55.50 per ton cost with a $5 catalyst, and this isn't including the processing or tipping fees. This is getting the material and having to do that.
And then what are the costs associated with it?
It's the materials that go into it, the lubricants and overhead manufacturing and energy that goes into the overall process.
Okay. And do you have a sense for, let's say, on a per ton basis, what those costs look like?
Per ton overall, oh, you mean broken down individually?
Yeah.
Overall it's $55 roughly. I don't know the broken down exact numbers broken down.
And then what are you looking to charge for it on a per ton basis?
So we would like to compete with coal, so roughly $100 to $115 per ton. And that will also fluctuate with the inputs that go into it. So if we are able to offset some of the costs of production, then that could also fluctuate with how coal fluctuates.
With recycling, often the issue is how do you aggregate the raw materials you need for your process? Is that an issue for you?
I don't believe it's going to be an issue. However, I have been calling multiple different suppliers that could be potential avenues as far as municipal solid waste and post-industrial materials. So having a certain stream dry up wouldn't necessarily be a problem down the road. However, I have been doing my due diligence, making sure that we will have the supply that will then be able to supply the consumers. If that answers your question, I apologize.
Follow-on question, what's your specific strategy to secure that supply?
So getting securing this plastic supply?
Yeah, the waste supply.
So working with material recovery facilities initially is where we are going. However, they charge on a per ton basis because that's where their revenue comes from. So people like injection molding and people who also recycle HDPE where they get other streams of recycling where they can't use it, they are looking for people to continuously take that off of their hands and even at the worst case scenario pay for just the transportation of the material and not the cost per ton. So I have been trying to figure out the best value on the front end as far as making that as cheap as possible and not having to pay thousands of dollars for 20 tons, say, and that will have to be factored in then to additional costs. So I'm trying to figure out the input that will be the cheapest and offset that cost.
Chris, great job.
Thank you so much.
Appreciate what you're trying to do. I was wondering about your timeline. How do you, in terms of scalability and like a production plan, I'd be interested in that, a little more detail.
Okay, so that's why we're using cement kilns as our beachhead market. They are already permitted to burn many different fuels, so getting a pilot scale facility with something like that will verify technology and emissions. Things like boilers and stuff like that, you have to go through EPA, MATC standards and all that. So the quickest path to market, I believe, is cement kilns, and then breaking into other industries once the technology has been proven will then be that path. Thank you. Good.
Very
Thank you
good.
so much.
All right, thank you. Big round of applause for Chris. What a great job. So our next speaker, I'd like to introduce Sergey. Did I say that right? Sergey, I apologize. Sergey Blackwood, come on up.
Clicker?
Did I miss? I think.
Do you have the clicker?
Yep, you need the clicker.
Yep, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Hi, everyone. Thank you for being here today. My name is Sergey Blackwood, and today I'll be pitching to you guys AIRS. So, AIRS stands for Advanced Interactive Response Systems, and to go into our story, I'm going to give you an example. Cheryl. Cheryl has COPD. She has, I'm sorry about this. Thank you. So, I'm going to tell you about Cheryl. Cheryl has COPD. She constantly requires the oxygen therapy. Her son, Rob, he lives with her to be able to take care of her. But what happens when Rob has to go to work? He's unable to take care of her. So let's say Cheryl tries to be independent. She wants to do something nice for Rob. She wants to clean up around the house. But what happens if she accidentally moves a piece of furniture, a chair, the vacuum cleaner gets in the way, and she unplugs the oxygen concentrator without realizing it? And then she gets tired, she sits down on the couch, she thinks she's just sleepy. But next thing you know, Rob comes back and he finds his mother dead on the couch. And then we have found that this attributes for around 6% of all events with oxygen concentrators right now. And we believe that 6% is still way too much when it comes to human life, and a problem that we can solve today with our modern day technology. So the problem is there's no way for patients to be able to provide how they're feeling on their day-to-day life to medical providers. They're limited to the times when they come into the office, they do a checkup, and then that's all you get pretty much. And then the medical providers aren't able to prescribe better, accurate medical regimens to those patients. And then, like I mentioned with Cheryl, caretakers don't have the ability to take care of their patients when they're away either. So what is the oxygen flow monitor? This piece of hardware itself, it does not output any supplemental oxygen. It's able to connect to any oxygen concentrator, oxygen tank, or a hospital bulk ventilator system, excuse me. And what it is then able to do is it collects a variety of information about the patient's respiratory condition that's able to communicate to whoever needs it. So our unique value propositions, we provide access to unique around-the-clock remote patient monitoring capabilities for both the patients, their caregivers, and the medical providers. We save both money and time for medical providers and patients by reducing the amount of checkups and hospital readmissions, which are very costly. And we also provide medical providers with another revenue stream to be able to make money off RPM services, which is remote patient monitoring. And then our final value proposition is we provide knowledge and deep insight into the patient's condition to everyone. Now, getting to telemedicine. Sorry. So the important thing that I'd like to mention for this is the various statistics about the condition of the patient that we collect. We don't just collect the status about the performance of the machine or the oximetry of the patient or the battery levels. We combine that with heart rate. And you might think that heart rate is not necessarily something that's related to the respiratory condition, but we found that heart rate gives very important context to the condition of how the patient is feeling. It's impossible to know if they're exercising, if they're showering, what is going on with the patient unless you give this full context of the medical patient condition. Now, getting to the market validation, our CEO, Valerie, she has over 20 years of experience as a respiratory therapist, so she has talked to a multitude, to hundreds of respiratory therapists that she knows to be able to do customer discovery on them. And then I myself have talked to a variety of pulmonologists working at hospitals. I have talked to DMEs, which are durable medical equipment suppliers, and respiratory therapists that work in those. And across the board, we have found that this issue is a real thing, that everyone across the board wishes they could solve this, and they cannot believe there's no way to solve this technology right now. Now, getting into the competitive landscape, the only thing I'd like to mention for this is the fact that Ayers is able to do so many of these things that our competitors are not. Getting to the market size, our TAM is going to be the amount of Americans across the US that have chronic conditions that require oxygen therapy. The number for all people that require oxygen therapy is way higher, around 4 million Americans, but 2 million Americans is people that need it chronically day to day. Then our SAM is going to be the people in the Midwest that need the oxygen therapy, and then for our SOM are going to be people that get their solution for their oxygen therapy needs through those DMEs that we just talked about. Getting to the customer acquisition strategy, we're going to go hard for strategic partners as well as using the push-pull strategy. For these strategic partners, not all of these we have established partnerships with so far. A few of them we have, but we are going to be going through DMEs primarily to be able to reach the customer. And then for push and pull strategy, we're going to push our customer through the DMEs to the patients until everyone can see the value. And then once people start seeing the value, the patients, the customers, the medical providers, everyone's going to pull that product through the market by requesting it. Then this is our milestones and path to market. And then thank you guys for your time.
Great job. So it's now time for a little Q&A, if you want to come more towards the center.
So first of all, great job
Thank
rolling
you.
with the technical challenges.
Thank you.
So congrats on that. So are you on a path to getting so who pays for it? Is it the patient that pays for it? Is it the insurance company that pays for it? If it's the insurance company, what's your path to a billing code? How are you going to make some money?
So as we're approaching to actually starting the business, we are trying to balance the business model on how we're going to get the revenues. But right now, we believe we're going to have a subscription model for the caregivers of the patients so that they can access this information live, see the red flags that pop up for like the medical spikes in the person's condition. And we're also looking to sell this device to DMEs directly, and they're going to be reselling it to the patients. And also, we believe that the remote patient monitoring is able to give us more opportunities for getting money through insurance reimbursement. Because as of 4 or 5 years ago, Medicare separated telehealth from RPM services for purposes of getting money back from the insurance. And then every insurance agency across the country follows Medicare's law. And then they have said that they're starting to pay for RPM services, which includes collection and transmission of this important information. So we believe we'll be able to get money on these three ways.
Where are you in the testing this with patients and with the information, more than testing the equipment and how it works, but how the communication works, and is it the way doctors and caregivers want to receive information?
Yeah, so that's a combination of what we found out from, we can use the combination of what we found from customer discovery for this. So what we found from customer discovery is that you're right, patients would like this information easily accessible, and we need to work closely with them to find out the best way for that. But also, we have recently finally developed our minimal viable product. So we're slowly starting testing, and then we would like to be able to get it. We have a letter of intent from CareLink, one of the DMEs here in the Midwest, and they would like to work closely with us to be able to start testing out this process. But as you know, the FDA regulations are very stringent, so this whole process, you can't really test on human beings until you go through a whole laundry list of things, you know, so. But our CEO has more information about this specific path regarding that.
Can you talk a little bit more about your competition and why customers will choose you over existing solutions that are out there?
So currently, the competition in this industry is coming from two ways. From one side, we have oxygen concentrator makers, people who make these solutions, and they're the ones that are falling very behind on entering this industry. Arguably, they've had the best resources and the best capabilities to start doing this for a long time. CPAP machines are able to do this, but for oxygen concentrators, there is nothing like this around. And then, so oxygen concentrator companies, they're slowly starting to get into this field, but they're too far behind to be able to start their own technology. So I believe they'll be looking to acquire technology or partner with an RPM service. But the other side of the competition is actual services that are just RPM services. There's companies that just go after remote patient monitoring for conditions like diabetes and for pacemakers and stuff like that. So they're the ones that are more aggressively entering this industry, and I believe that, the threat is the highest from them. But on the oxygen concentrator maker side, none of them at all have any kind of capabilities to collect any kind of information right now, medical or maintenance. And then RPM services, they're slowly starting to integrate just things for oximetry. So none of our competition are able to give this full insight into the respiratory condition, just maybe one or two things at a time.
And then just a follow-up question. Why do you think the RPM companies have not prioritized oxygen monitoring compared to other conditions?
That's a hard question. I haven't really done customer discovery with RPM companies, specifically just with the doctors, but I would say the numbers. I think there's a lot more people who have pacemakers and way more people who have diabetes in the country, so I think it was just an easier market to entry. And specifically for diabetes, while you can still have serious medical outcomes from failure to monitor this, there's a lot of liability when it comes to saying to the patient that, oh, we'll take care of this, don't worry about it. You know, now it's on you to be able to do that. You know, so I believe it's for things like diabetes, it's way easier, way less risk to be able to test it on patients.
And I was hoping you could share a little bit more about your customer market discovery. Remote patient monitoring is a growing area. It makes perfect sense. You did a good job of presenting this, considering the technical difficulties. I'm wondering if you spoke to in-home healthcare companies as well as assisted living centers, as well as hospital nurses. Can you go into that?
So unfortunately, my customer discovery was mainly based around the problems. So I was just talking to the doctors mostly, to the respiratory therapists and pulmonologists. I was able to get some administrative people within the DME world just because I was cold calling these DMEs, and then like I talked to whoever was on the phone pretty much first before trying to get further into it. But yeah, unfortunately on the administration side, I'm not sure. But so far from all the pulmonologists and the DMEs I've talked to, none of them have not made it seem like they have any partnership with any RPM companies or any intention to do this. It does not look like they've been approached with this yet by anyone, if that answers the question.
All right, thank you so
Thank
much. Big round of applause. I'm not going to touch the clicker. So up next, can we give a big round of applause and welcome to the stage Adam Hopp.
Hello, everybody. Thank you for your time. Like he said, my name is Adam Hopp, and here today I'm to present Verdant Vessels, a clay pot irrigation system company. So our story starts in Honduras with a lady named Maria. We contacted her about in September of 2024 with our clay pot irrigation idea. She had a family-ran business, and she was looking for business model ideas. And in October of 2024, after a couple months of business discovery and customer discovery in Honduras, we met with her and asked her, hey, can we bring this idea to the United States? She gave us the go-ahead. In January of 2025, we started Verdant Vessels. So what's the problem is the real question. Well, in the Upper Peninsula, we have a sandy soil state, which may make it more difficult for irrigation and hydration to gauge for people. But also, some people with home gardens might not have enough time on their hands. When it comes to taking care of their children, work, they might not have a lot of time to tend to a garden, but they want to make a difference. So what's the solution? Excuse me. Verdant Vessels, a company that produces clay pot irrigation system for small-scale farmers and gardeners. So our price and market comparison, I only got 3 comparable irrigation systems for Verdant Vessels. One outlier is an average in-ground sprinkler system that costs about $800. That's not technically in our competitive market standard. And then when it comes to a drip watering irrigation and then also sprinkler and hose, those are our comparable ones. Rainbird is a very big irrigation system, leads the way in gardening as well. It's priced comparably to Verdant Vessels, but uses about 10 times more water on average compared to our product. And then the sprinkler and hose kit, it's about $40 on Amazon as an average. The brand for this one's called Bandwagon. It uses about, I'd say, 2 to 3 times more comparable to our product. So customer discovery, as of this current moment, we have not done much customer discovery because our company is fairly new and off the ground. However, we do have a niche target market that we'd like to go after in middle-aged adults, about 35 to 55 years old. They value time efficiency, but they also value making a difference in the world. They might, like I said, they might have work priorities, they might have children priorities, they might not be able to irrigate their gardens properly in some cases. But like I said, they value making a difference in the world because our clay pot irrigation system is natural. It's a natural source from the soil. So our customer acquisition strategy in that is social media marketing. Social media marketing is the biggest thing on the planet at this current moment, and we have to broadcast our product in social media, otherwise we might as well be screwed as a company. And then in the future, education through schools, clubs, and organizations. That's the biggest way to make be an ambassador of our product itself, but also communities and community gardens. These community gardens, like I'll say in a minute here, might not have a lot of access to water efficiently. They might have to bring water jugs when they're trying to water those community gardens. So when you bury that clay pot in the ground and you only have to refill it, like we said, it uses about 10 times less water compared to drip irrigation systems. You have to bring less water in that case. But other specific prospects in the Marquette community, we've talked to the Marquette Community Garden, Chocolate Township Community Garden. We've also talked to a couple home gardeners, and we've also talked to the Marquette Food Co-op. In some cases, we're still trying to build that relationship with them. So what differentiates us? Well, it saves time and it saves money. It saves money in the fact that you're using less water compared to other irrigation systems, but you're also saving money. It's a passive irrigation system. You're not using a ton of electricity. The only electricity that you're using in a matter of the fact is when you're filling up a water jug to refill those clay pots. You're not using a sprinkler system, but you're also saving money in the fact that it takes 5 minutes on average every single day to check up on these clay pots and refill them, the 3 clay pots that you would need for an average sized garden. But also it gives you access to water. Like I said, with those community gardens, it might give access to water in areas in like a rural farm that might not have a ton of access to water. So our timeline, like I said, starts in September 2024 when we initially contacted Maria with our idea. In October, we finally had our final meeting with her, asked her to bring the idea to the United States. And in January, we started Verdant Vessels, and in February, at this current moment, we are done with our first mold, and we are starting production as of this next week. And then in March, we're gonna finalize our first sales that we've had a couple leads for already and get those products shipped out. And then in April, our goal is to get to 50 company sales wide. But in the future beyond that, we'd like to broaden our advertising, and we'd also like to broaden our scope of production, whether it be producing more clay pots of the same size that we have right now, or expanding to in-house plants, or expanding to bigger farms. So our team consists of myself as the CEO of the company. Dr. Corinne Bowman is our marketing consultant. Sergi Blackwood, you heard him talk earlier. He's our technology consultant. Mallory Rusk is our production consultant alongside Mr. Brian Kakis, who works with the NMU Art and Design program with our production processes. The next steps, and with your help, crowd, we can make a difference in the irrigation world. And with your investment, investors, we can make a difference in our advertising and make a difference in our production. Verdant Vessels, irrigating with a purpose, starting at the root.
Great job. It's now time for our Q&A session.
Evan, great job. Adam, sorry.
You're good, Carol. Thank you. It's okay. It's okay.
It's the age.
That's all right.
So in terms of a price point,
Yes.
what are we thinking individually?
So individually, right now, it's $25 per clay pot. And like I mentioned, we need 3 clay pots. It covers about 3 by 3 foot area, which is 9 square feet. The average 9 by 6 home garden needs 3 clay pots, which costs $75.
Thank you.
What's your distribution strategy and customer? I mean, you mentioned social media, but what do you anticipate your customer acquisition cost to be?
So right now, customer acquisition costs, we're doing it ourselves. So it's technically a free labor, at least at our costs, at least with my team. I myself am going out to make leads and going out to certain prospects, either like I was doing with you and you yesterday. I was trying to prospect to you guys and ask, hey, do you guys have a home garden? In some cases, I asked Carol this, and I asked other prospects that were at the forum as well. Your cost before that was cost related to another thing?
Oh, what's your distribution strategy?
Our
How are
distribution right
customers
now,
gonna find?
we're direct to consumer. So I myself am delivering the product straight to them along with another couple of people in our team.
So, can you tell me, like, how big are these,
Yeah.
and do they get sort of semi-buried in the ground,
yes.
or they just
So-
sit up on top?
These clay pots are completely buried in the ground, so it's 9 inches wide and 12 inches tall, and the opening is about 1 to 2 inches wide on the top. It sits flush with the ground, and the pot comes with an instruction manual on how to install it and a rock to sit on top of that clay pot so nothing gets inside of it. You bury it in the ground about 1 foot, and like I said, it sits flush with it, and you have to check it about every 1 to 2 days, and obviously do the yearly maintenance on it, check and see if it has any cracks or if the pores are starting to deteriorate in that case.
And you said a average home garden would have like 3 of these?
Yes, 9 by 6 feet covers a 9 square feet area.
And that's for vegetables, flowers,
Yep.
whatever you're growing?
Any plant, yep.
And is this something that you're able to protect with a patent or anything?
Currently, we don't have a patent out for this. However, we can, yes, and we're in the process of doing that at this current moment.
Is the secret sauce in the actual clay material?
Yeah, so the clay material itself, it's fire blasted to a certain temperature and to a certain point. Like, it's kind of produced like an actual flower pot itself. It's kind of like part of the process. So it's unglazed, unlike a flower pot, and it's fire blasted to a certain time compared to a flower pot to where it's porous and it leaks out that water. And when the dirt around it is moisturized with that water, it seeps up those pores and traps that water inside of it if it doesn't need it, like in a humid day or in a very rainy environment.
What's the scale, total number of units you need to have in sales to have a company that pays the staff and distribution, the fixed costs that you're going to have? And then what's the plan to scale the production to that level, to go beyond a hobby of selling $25 pots to a business that exists to sell these?
So currently, we're getting production from the NMU Art and Design program. Right now, like that 50 company-wide sales goal in April is our big target right now to start reevaluating, like you said, production. In that case, we want to try and expand production with NMU Art and Design, but they can only do it to a certain extent. So after that, we'd like to explore some different options, either outside or inside Northern Michigan University as well, if that answers your question.
This is more of like a comment. First of all, I really liked your presentation style.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
How you connect with the audience was really good. But don't overlook how it works. It's really important to tell the audience how the clay pot is more water efficient and explain that other than allowing people to defer. I think I figured it out, but it was be very outward and straight about it.
Yes, sir.
What's your story and what drew you to this product and solving this problem?
Well, my dad himself, he recently got diagnosed with bone cancer, and he's having trouble watering his plants, whether it be his irrigation system itself. And this is pretty easy for him in general to refill those plants. It only takes him 5 to 10 minutes a day, and it keeps the strain less on his bones because he's providing himself with a self-employed contracting business. So,
Another piece of advice, use that in your story and your pitch next time.
yeah, I didn't want to broadcast that too much. I'm sorry. I didn't want to make you guys seem like it's a sad story for myself.
I think that's an important element. People like stories. And use your social media and YouTube to create this is how it works. This is why it's different, and you'll do well.
Yeah, perfect. Anything else? All right, thank you guys. I appreciate it.
All right. What a great round of applause for Adam. And we're going to keep this rolling for our fourth big pitch contestant. Let's give a big warm welcome to the stage to Evan.
Thank you, thank you. So, quick question for everybody. How many of you guys have had a sinus infection before? Most people, I'd assume, right? So what do you do to address it? You take medication, maybe use a neti pot, or you get a prescription Neilmed, like a solution from the doctor. Well, they often tend not to work that well. So a solution to this is Sinus Bath. It was invented by Dr. Michael Siegel in 2012, who was an ear, nose, and throat doctor, in order to help his patients recover after they've had sinus revision surgery. What the product is, the problem it's addressing is the people who suffer from chronic sinusitis. They don't really have that many effective or long-lasting remedies for it. So Sinus Bath has been designed to address that problem through its patented, it's patented nasal, it's a nasal irrigation device with patented aeration technology and head positioning that more effectively clears out the sinuses by keeping the fluid constantly in contact with the mucus in your nose. And it also prevents the fluid from leaking down into your throat, potentially causing ear infections, which we've heard as a lot of some of the feedback we've gotten from customers. So in order to validate our market, we've done over 200 customer discovery calls over the last 14 months. We've learned a lot of the common issues that people have with the solutions to sinus infections. Either medication's too expensive or people don't want to get addicted to it. They have a lot of complaints about irritation through like either their nose or their throat. A lot of times too, the devices like neti pot, because of the way your head's positioned, the fluid tends to get into your eustachian tubes in your ear canals and cause an ear infection, which is not pleasant for anybody. So the size of our market, the Sinus Bath would be addressing, so our TAM is roughly 45 million people in the US with chronic or acute sinusitis. It's about 11 to 13% of the population, depending on the study. Our SAM is 77% of that 45 million people. That's all the number of people that we've discovered have had some sort of issue with like the current solutions for a sinus infection, whether that be like causing ear infection, it's too irritating on your throat, or it's too harsh, or the biggest one was that it doesn't effectively address the problem. So our sum is everybody in Michigan who suffers from acute or chronic sinusitis that also would like a better solution for this problem. A bit of overview on our competitive landscape. There we go. A bit overview of our competitive landscape. Come on. So the x-axis from left to right, it's price from low to high. And then on the y-axis from bottom to top, it's low patient comfort and high patient comfort. Is that working? There we go. All right, so our go-to-market strategy. In October of 2023, we were first tasked to redesign the previous edition of Sinus Bath. We did customer discovery calls, tried to validate the problem. In January of 2024, you gotta be kidding me. All right. What's going on? All right. So in January 2024, we took that customer feedback to create our minimum viable product as a feasibility prototype. We've then used our prototype created by Joe Ruthier and his team in order to get more customer feedback and further validate that this is something that people would like. And now using that current feedback, we've gone, by May 2025, we hope to get a working prototype or a working product, which Michael Siegel, Dr. Siegel, will use to validate with other ear, nose, and throat doctors. And then once we get more validation or further proof of concept, we're going to take this to market through either chain pharmacies or for prescription from ear, nose, and throat doctors, and eventually direct-to-consumer pricing or direct-to-consumer selling. And then the end goal is to hopefully license this to some sort of medical company. That way it's off our hands and they can further develop the product and address any issues with it. So our team, on the far left here, you got me, myself, Dr. Corey Bodman, Joe Ruthier, Dr. Joshua Ingber, and on the bottom is the inventor, Dr. Michael Siegel, and then other members at Michigan Technological University. That's all I've got. Thank you.
Great job, Evan. Now for a Q&A.
Can we see a demo? I'm just kidding. Is there any 510K regulatory path, or are there any governing bodies that need to approve of something like this?
Well, with the current idea with sinus bath, if it's just using a saline solution, there's not going to be many regulations and like verification that we would need to have covered in order to sell it. But if the goal would be to use any kind of prescription solutions or prescription remedies to put in your sinuses, that's when we would need to eventually get this approved by the FDA because of the medication side, or like if it's any kind of topical steroids that go into the sinuses.
Again, it wasn't really obvious how it works. Can you touch on that?
The prototype, the point of the way the sinus bath operates, you have to have your head positioned from your torso at a 90-degree angle facing the floor. And sinus bath, it's the prototype itself. There will be like technology that pumps in fluid into your nose, and then the aeration technology adds bubbles into the solution while it's in contact with all the mucus, which is supposed to very effectively break up and then drain out of your other nostril. And the point of the head positioning is to not have the fluid drain down your throat or potentially in your ear canal, which we've had a lot of people say that's the biggest reason they don't use any kind of like neti pot or like the Neomed solutions they get from the doctors, because of that throat irritation and because of the ear infection or the risk of it. If that answered your question.
Yeah, and I know it can be complicated to take the time, you have limited time to present, but always make sure the audience knows how the product works.
Of course, yeah, thank you.
And I should call you the wrong name just because it would only be fair. But I also think that making sure you demonstrate or have, and I do believe, so many people use YouTube.
Yeah.
You know, when you have a working prototype, make a YouTube and show that
Absolutely.
it's easy and it's effective, because those are the things people want relief. And that, I think you do really well with that. Great job.
Yeah, thank you.
It sounded like from your early slide that this was actually created in, did it say 2012?
Yes.
But yet and I was assuming from that this doctor has been using this with patients. Why is there a need for additional prototyping?
Well, so the original idea, the concept of it was created in 2012, and there was a previous working prototype, but a lot of the people at Dr. Siegel's office were giving a lot of feedback and said it didn't look that great, and it just wasn't very appealing to get people to use it. So we were tasked at NME with redesigning it and then getting it out, then marketing it that way, which is why it seems like it's in a pretty early stage, because we've basically been tasked with almost a full redesign of the product.
Just as a follow-up, is there any risk to the patient in using this? Is there the possibility that something will perforate tissue or anything that would make this potentially have a liability concern?
Well, as far as I understand, there isn't. So with sinus bath, the actual product is only going to use about a shot glass worth of fluid compared to like a neti pot where you're using quite a bit more, or one of the more expensive solutions, the Navage device. And the point of also the point of the aeration technology is to make when it's working its magic, it's going to be a lot more gentle on your sinuses, and it's not gonna, because your head position, it's not going to go anywhere but stay in contact with the mucus in your sinuses, and then it'll be drained out.
Do you have a target unit price and a manufacturing strategy to deliver that? I know you're early and just still working through the prototype, but what's the vision for that?
I believe right now the price they're shooting for is about $60, which is about halfway between the Navage device, which is the much more expensive alternative, and then a neti pot, which is fairly cheap but doesn't work that great. And as far as manufacturing, I believe that's why licensing is a a potential goal in our future is to get to have just that strategy taken care of for us without having to do the work ourselves.
All right, that's our time. Let's
Oh,
give a big
thank you.
shout out to Evan. All right, so we're gonna take a short break, but in that break you have one responsibility. Open your smartphone browser and go to live.voxvote.com, enter the following PIN numbers or use the QR code, enter a screen nickname, and this is where you're gonna do the crowd favorite voting. You have a voice today. You saw 4 amazing pitches. You're going to do this crowd voting. That will help us when we do our awards at the end here. But before you leave, one more big round of applause for our 4 students that have done this. Big pitch. They're amazing. I'm excited to see where the awards fall. You guys can take a yes. They're like, well, I'm okay. All right. And a big shout out to our judges. Judges, if you do need to stretch your legs, you get about 3 or 4 minutes here. And we're going to come right back and jump into our outdoor innovation pitch. For any of our outdoor innovation pitchers, if you can please make your way backstage, that'd be great. Thank you. 2 minutes. We're going to get going in 2 minutes. 2 minutes. I know people are going to start making their way back in. 2 minutes. Oh boy. All right. Here we go. Big pitch, an outdoor innovation pitch. This is your last chance here on this screen. If you haven't done it, make that vote, get it in. We're excited that your voice will be heard. So we're now heading towards our outdoor innovation pitch with up to $50,000 in funding. There's a ton of great information about this. Bill. We want to make sure we let you know all about that. So if I could please welcome Aubrey from Innovate Marquette to give us a few words, maybe many words.
Maybe many, we'll see. Hello, thank you all for coming today. My name is Aubrey Healy. I'm the Outreach and Engagement Manager at Innovate Marquette. We are a local nonprofit here to support entrepreneurs and get them connected to the resources they need. We specialize in creative technology, sustainable technology, and outdoor innovation, which brings us to the outdoor innovation pitch today. This is our third year hosting a conference with SISU and Northern Michigan University, but it's our second year hosting the outdoor innovation pitch competition with the Michigan Outdoor Innovation Fund that is powered by InvestUP and Centropolis Accelerator, one of our downstate Smart Zone partners. We're really excited to have a competition like this with so many good prizes. So up to $50,000 in investment from the Michigan Outdoor Innovation Fund is the grand prize, and then up to $5,000 in services from Centropolis Accelerator and Innovate Marquette, as well as the crowd favorite. But to have a pitch competition like this with that magnitude of prizes right here in Marquette is great for our local entrepreneurial ecosystem. So thank you so much to all of you for coming, and to our partners for putting on this event with us this year, the judges for sharing your time and expertise. You've been great to work with, but especially all of the finalists that you're about to see. There was more than 20 applicants from all across the state of Michigan that applied to be part of the outdoor innovation pitch, and you are seeing 6 of the best. So looking forward to seeing what they present, and thank you so much for coming to Peak 25.
Thank you, Aubrey and Innovate. So I would like to welcome our first outdoor pitch finalists, Tanvi Gadamseti and Madhav Agarwal of Brace. Let's give a big round of applause.
Can you hear us well?
Hi everyone, my name is Tanvi Gadamseti.
My name is Madhav Agarwal, and we're the founders of Brace. We both are former athletes who lost their careers to injuries due to faulty equipment. We realize same is the case for more than 500,000 athletes and individuals in the US every single year who get injured due to equipmental failure, and overlooked issues within their gear is what also causes them to lose on performance.
And the solution is Brace, a material tech startup that is creating an ecosystem of athletic gear to support athletes in performance and safety, using our proprietary materials, which is 8 times stronger than steel, fire resistant, remarkably lightweight, and waterproof. This technology currently has 2 provisional patents and a utility patent, and we develop all of our athletic accessories in-house while also licensing out our material for industrial and tactical applications. And the market for our innovation is huge. We're currently targeting the US sports gear and tactical gear market that is valued at $13 billion, with secondary markets specifically into industrial and defense.
We have innovated in an accessory so often overlooked in our day-to-day lives, but extremely crucial when it comes to tactical and athletic performance: shoelaces. We invented the world's first and only shoelaces that never come untied due to activity, weather, or fray, perfected through 3 product verticals: Brace Sports for athletes like ourselves in tactical use, Naughties by Brace for the huge kids market, and Brace Sneakers for the general population. These work due to our proprietary microscopic interlock technology, which means the laces work like Velcro, but they don't feel like Velcro at all, tied in just a single knot. These provide performance and data bag advantages from better knee coverage, better ankle coverage, better knee stability, to better running strides and sport-specific advantages we discovered through our rigorous customer discovery interview process, which is still ever ongoing since the last 11 months. And we all know tactical, mountaineering, and hiking laces are trash. We perfected them through our sectional design and unique configurations, all within our IP, ranging from the best for tensile strength, flame resistance, elasticity, and we also make industrial cables and other gear out of them. These are not just textile, but all soft polymer products.
And here we have a video to show you to display the strength of our materials. We are pulling a 6,000-pound truck tied in a single knot of our laces with the exact ones you have holding. We took our laces to SneakerCon, the biggest sneaker show in the world, during the NFL draft weekend in Detroit, and we sold out within just 4 hours. We're targeting our customers using our athletes and testimonials from them, high school training camps for pilot programs, and also strategic partnerships with athletic governing bodies for pilot programs, and sales for more than 800,000 high school athletes within the Midwest.
We are disrupting this potential market through our extremely high potential because we're an inexpensive adoption within existing gear. We're also extremely flame resistant, very comparable to Kevlar, but 50% of the price. We're also extremely lightweight into footwear integrations. This has what led us to developing partnerships and generating sustainable, profitable revenue since the get-go. With our existing D2C product, because B2B is a separate side of our business, we've generated more than $38,000 within the first 45 days, set to close at $93,000 in March, the last fiscal year, and do more than $500,000 and $2.7 million next 2 years. And these are not projections, but signed pre-orders and commitments through our B2B licensing contracts. We recently became the youngest company ever to get into Techstars in Baltimore. We also are the #1 student startup in all of Michigan, winning 3 All-Michigan College challenges straight, and upcoming partnerships with Under Armour and the world's largest tools and tactical gear manufacturer, DeWalt. We already have sales to 8 champion NCAA sports programs. Goal is to go to South by Southwest as one of the 8 global student teams selected to pitch, and later diversify our portfolio for D2C brand creation, and also keep licensing to some of the giants within the space. These are DeWalt for tactical gear integration, Under Armour for footwear integration, starting out with tennis, the Department of Defense through CBP and TSA uniform integrations, and Enda Athletic, an African high-performance running company for their footwear, not just laces, but insoles and outer soles as well.
We're also currently raising pre-seed with more than 60% committed, and this is for championing our product and also creating a suite of patents for more material tech innovation. And this is the team that makes it happen. With years of experience in NCAA and sports innovation, we're also backed by advisors who previously worked in Nike, Keen, Oregon Sports Angels, and other athletic testing schools.
While we're also supported by Techstars, DeWalt, and Stanley Black & Decker, we are raising this round with performance and participation from Oregon Sports Angels, Stanley Ventures, which is Stanley Black & Decker's investment arm, to meet a direct customer demand, which today's money will go towards. Join our round as we change the future of sports, performance, and safety forever. Embrace the lace.
Wow. Big round of applause. Great job. And now it's our Q&A.
Yeah, well done, well done. So a question, this looks like a woven material like they have on flexible hoses. It looks like you adapted from existing. Is it really your technology and IP, or are you working with a manufacturer of this material to customize it around laces?
Yeah, we currently have 2 provisional patents, one granted utility and another already filed. This is totally our IP. We have invented composite fibers that produce different elasticities, fire resistance, and elasticity until the point of breakage when used in different compositions. Our patents include 36 different configurations of this material, ranging different applications, although the supplementary application that we filed recently was on the manufacturing processes, because we realized our laces act like Velcro on a microscopic scale, but the way you are almost, it's disguised looking like regular textile. So the manufacturing processes, we realized, were entirely IP to the way we were processing the materials that we developed in-house, and these are currently produced through our exclusive manufacturers down in Southeast Asia. No one else is doing this.
So it's being manufactured in Southeast Asia.
Currently,
You have a
yes.
manufacturing partner that's making it based on your material formulation. What's the cost and margins on a pair of laces? I must have missed it.
On the laces particularly, this is not at units of scale. This is our current margins. We have margins over 86% in all different laces through different markets. And this is 93 if you remove the commissions we give to our female athlete partners that are on the packaging right now. In terms of materials licensing, this margin increased to above 90%, which is still only 40% more expensive than polyester, 50% less expensive than Kevlar.
Thanks.
Thank you.
What's your plan beyond shoelaces? What are the other applications covered?
Yeah, so currently right here, I'm holding one of our R&D prototypes. It's ankle braces, but within in-house, we want to expand into athletic accessories because that stems from our personal pain points, and it's the market that we're the closest to. But within material licensing, what we do want to stem into is leveraging our strategic partnerships. For example, with DeWalt, we're working with industrial cables, ropes, engineered fastening, so we're finding different pain points that these also automotive and industrial applications have, and using our material to solve them.
And I'm sorry, but while we have an in-house suite of products under development for athletic use cases, we want to be a D2C brand. The goal starting out with was we want to be Nike of high performance, safety, and performance, and we don't want to do commercialized goods whatsoever. That was just merchandise. We will, and have already started B2B licensing to DeWalt. We are vendors within DeWalt for their industrial cables and industrial laces business, and we are diversifying within B2B into now engineered fastenings for Volkswagen EVs in Europe. So while these won't be our direct products that we can list within our listings because we don't have the machinery and the capacity to develop them in-house, we will keep licensing to major players who are making gear already at a way larger scale than we could.
Cool. Nice presentation, by the way.
Thank you.
So you've done a great job of engaging with partners. What's your outreach strategy, and how do you plan to staff up on strategic partnership engagement, et cetera?
Since we started in Feb 2024, it's been now just over a year since we started. We were very quick to first deal with SneakerCon, got into Techstars, Stanley Black & Decker, and Under Armour came through those channels. Now what we're trying to do with these major players who are already either top 3 or top 5 within their industries is now that we have one player, after one product is completely integrated, we are now in conversations with other players through our advisory board. First we got into Under Armour because the tennis line of shoes was still under development, but we brought on strategic advisory members on equity within our cap table who work on exact Nike laces. The 2 gentlemen on our advisory board are one of the 11 first employees who worked on the original Air Jordan 1s with Michael Jordan in 1980s. And the deal with DeWalt now transitioned to Keen Footwear also being involved because Keen is doing the exact thing. So now we're moving bottom-up approach in terms of market share. We're targeting smaller players, then moving to the bigger ones through either testimonials or already proven test results we are gathering through our testing partners like Joe Gibbs Racing and Black Lab X in Boulder, Colorado. So it is validation and testimonials mainly.
So ultimately, how far can you take this business on shoelaces alone? And where do you see the bigger market, in the sports and athletics or in the workforce safety and construction? And what's the next product that this material would be really useful for?
Yeah, within just shoelaces, the market is only $1.2 billion because within lacing systems, Velcro and BOA, the dial on the side of the tactical gear shoe exist, but this is on less than 2% of all footwear. It is not widely adopted, so at a point where brace laces will be in every single shoe, no matter which industry, no matter what use case, that's an opportunity of upwards of $50 billion if we were to be in every single shoe. But if you consider laces in sports where replacement laces are actually bought, companies that actually sell replacement laces, that's a market value of only $1.2 billion. Next product in line is the ankle brace and athletic contour patches because our materials have sectional elasticity and point and tilt breakage, which can be made to use contour tapes and patches. But the opportunity is huge. Everything you see that is made using plastic and has textile in it, we can make within our IP.
All right, and that's our time.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Tanvi and Madhav. Great job. All right. Wow. All right. Up next from Morphite Boards, I'd like to welcome Ryan Pelletier. Let's make some noise.
Thank you for having me here at Northern. Super excited to be here from down south, coming from Midland personally. So, Morphite Boards. We created collapsible longboards that can shrink to fit into a backpack. The wheels can be removed. We saw a problem currently in the market, which, I see this thing is fun to use. Come on. The problem that we saw is there is a growing use of personal transportation devices, especially in last mile transportation. So that's like you get off the bus and you have a couple more blocks to go. We're seeing a lot of electric skateboards, a lot of electric scooters, but people are also using regular boards, regular longboards, and also regular bikes and scooters. But these devices remain cumbersome. They're a little bit difficult to properly secure and also difficult to bring with you places. So if you want to travel on the plane, you can't take a bike with you very easily. So that was the problem that we saw. And our value proposition is ultra-portable last-mile transportation. So like I said, a longboard that can shrink and fit into your backpack. This is a Morphite board. This is a 3D printed version of V5. That's our most recent prototype design. And it features a collapsible deck, removable wheels, swappable kicktails, and swappable deck units. So what does that mean? This is a 3D render of our newest design. This is what it'll look like when it's injection molded. Please excuse the frame rate. I did this by hand, so it's a little rough. But this is what it'll look like when it's injection molded. It shrinks together. It's been nicknamed the accordion board online. Which I think is kind of funny. It's got two metal spines on the bottom that provide the support. And the green kicktails are removable, as well as the wheels and trucks. If you want to see a working prototype, you can check it out afterwards in the reception. Our management team is me, Ryan Pelletier. I'm a recent graduate from Saginaw Valley State University, and also my business partner, who's a 10% owner, Ron Beebe. He owns Euclid Industries, and they will be doing all of our manufacturing and distribution for us. Come on. Market opportunity. So the market size that we're looking at is the total skateboard market is about $3.22 billion. Why is this going the wrong way? Come on. $3.22 billion is the total skateboard market. The US market is about $1.2 billion out of that. The market that we are looking at is the, is the streetboard market, which is about $488 million. So that's our market that we're aiming for. Streetboard markets is just a unique market within the skateboarding market. We're looking to service commuters, students, that's college students and high school students, travelers, people who collect boards, and other niche markets. You can ask about those later if you'd like. Our business model is going to be primarily selling the decks and the complete boards. Complete boards means it comes with trucks and wheels. And we also will be selling accessories. We have some extra product lines planned. Our cost structure is mostly going to be advertising since we're doing contract manufacturing. Our pro forma financials for the next 5 years are as such. We can talk about those later as well. Our competition, there's one key competitor called BoardUp. They don't quite efficiently use the space as we do. Their branding is a little bit inconsistent, and they lack the key partnerships that we have, which I'll talk about soon. We have IP, trademark on the name, and then we also have a patent pending utility patent on the board design. We'll be expanding that to international soon, hopefully. Growth capacity, we are scalable thanks to Euclid Industries doing our manufacturing and shipping. And we have growing market demand as well as new product lines planned. Our market exposure, we had a video get 2.1 million views on Instagram. That helped us a ton. Got us about 4,000 followers on Instagram. These are some of the reviews. We were also reposted on World's Greatest Gadgets on Instagram, as well as the science page on Snapchat, of which they still use us as the clickbait on the cover. We're currently working on raising $400,000 for launch. We have raised $85,000 of that so far. $75,000 of that was spent on injection molding tools, which will be ready in the end of March. Runway use of funds is here. And, oh, too far. Our plan is to transform last mile transportation forever, and with your help, we can do that. So that was Morphite Boards, and my name is Ryan Pelletier.
All right, little time for a Q&A. Yeah, finicky.
It was going the wrong way for a minute there.
Thanks, Ryan. That was really interesting. As a non-skateboarder, what do you think in terms of, when I looked at this, I kept thinking, what about a European market? I really think in terms of hopping on a train or public transportation in Europe or abroad would be a really nice thing for this.
Yeah, so absolutely. I actually studied abroad in the Czech Republic, and one of the saddest parts of being there was I couldn't bring my board with me. I just simply could not justify putting it in my luggage to bring it with. When I came back, it was about 6 days after I got back from studying abroad, I started working on this project. So that is huge, definitely. Traveling Europe would be beautiful with one of these, hopping on trains, buses, and then being able to ride around Europe. We've had comments on that as well.
The other follow-up is, what are those other products that you're thinking of, or is it too early to say?
So our design is modular. So what's cool about that is, like I said, the kicktails are removable, which the kicktail is like the end of the board that you step on to kick the board up. So we have plans to work with another company on LEDs. So a kicktail that can be clicked in has LEDs that's rechargeable, removable, as well as a GoPro mount. I don't know how we're going to do that with GoPro. I assume there's IP that we have to work with on their end, but that's something we'd like to do as well, getting a GoPro attached to the front of the board so you can get some first-person view videos. Different colors that we'll do for that as well, but then on the other side is the accessories. We also plan to do a backpack that has clip-on for the wheels on the sides, as well as a strap. It's kind of like a scarf that the wheels can attach to. Those are the two ideas we have for if you don't want to put your wheels in your backpack.
Have you been able to, I know you've only done 3D printing so far, is that right?
Yep.
So in the plan, I imagine there has to be some level of durability testing.
Yes.
Can you talk about what your plans are there?
Yeah, so we're actually going to be working with University of Michigan on that. I just got in contact with a student in their engineering department, and they're going to be doing some brake and impact testing for us, both the pressure testing and also impact. We're going to be using injection molded polypropylene for the board. So if anyone has seen penny boards, but also more commonly known would be the Yeti coolers. It's a very similar plastic to that, known as indestructible plastic. I mean, obviously that's an exaggeration, but it should be very, very strong. But yes, and we'll be doing testing.
Another question, go-to-market strategy, is it all direct-to-consumer, B2C, or is it B2B? And if so, B2B, what's the strategy?
So we're starting off with direct-to-consumer just because of the costs. I didn't see my slide pop up there. We have a key partners slide that somehow got killed by the clicker. Oh, why, thank you. So our key partners here, Euclid Industries and Vantage Plastics, are both in the Bay City area. So something I wanted to mention is that we are not only US made, we are Michigan made. I'm very proud of that. Our Vantage Plastics is going to be doing the injection molding for us. So our costs are a little bit higher because we're US and Michigan made. We're working with Paris Trucks and Orangutan Wheels, which are two of the largest names in skateboarding in longboarding specifically for the wheels and trucks. They're going to be helping us out with advertising media, but again, it's a premium product. It's going to be a little bit more expensive. So we're working with direct-to-consumer right now. Our margins are not going to be healthy enough to be able to do B2B quite yet, but we do want to get into retail, eventually selling in skate shops around America is what I'd really like to see.
Those are good companies. I know Euclid and Vantage. I know Ron Beebe really well.
Oh, you do? Oh, wonderful. Yeah, he's a wonderful guy. Oh, and then skate influencers down on the bottom. I just want to cover that real quick. We have a bunch of influencers who have reached out and want to make videos for us, doing videos around, one of them lives in a van, so he wanted to do like what life is like living in a van with a board that can shrink and fit into a backpack. Pretty cool. One of our other niche markets.
All right, and that's our time. Great job. Big round of applause for Ryan. I do, if you did not know, NMU, we did break the Guinness Book of World Records for world's longest longboard skateboard parade. I got to do that. It's the only time I've been skateboarding, and I sprained my wrist. Don't do that. I need the brace or something. Okay, sorry. I don't vote. I just get to make the jokes. All right, here we go. Up next, I really appreciate them being here. Can we give a big round of applause from Brent Pike of Pike Gear?
Good afternoon. Thank you, everybody, for being here. My story actually kind of begins here in the UP. As you can see in the background here, we are a upland bird hunting and fly fishing clothing company. And the reason I started this company was on my first big trip to come hunting was actually coming to the UP. And I got a new job, was making some good money, went over to the local Jay Sporting Goods there in Clare, Michigan, bought myself about $1,000 worth of Filson pants, jacket, shirt, the whole 9 yards, and just couldn't wait to get up here and test all this new stuff out. And I went out on a day, much like what you see behind you here, a beautiful, crisp fall day. You go out there, I'm started walking in the woods, and I'm feeling good. I'm like, whew, this stuff kind of sucks. I mean, this is really not comfortable. I'm like sweating, and just, it doesn't move with me at all. And I'd worked in the ski industry for about 10 years, so I knew that there was better stuff out there than what this stuff was. And I just was like, I'm like, man, I can't believe this stuff is this terrible to hunt in. So the idea began 20-some years ago, and that's kind of where Pike Gear started in my mind. I from there went and started using, Patagonia, North Face, you name it. I bought every type of outdoor clothing you could possibly imagine and tried to use it for my application. None of it worked. It was lightweight, it dried fast, but it was not durable. That was the biggest problem we ran into, is we just could not get anything that was durable and still had the lightweight, flexibility, user friendliness that we're looking for when we're out doing our outdoor activities. I'm sure a lot of people in here are mountain bikers, cross-country skiers, alpine skiers. We want to be comfortable. This is something we're doing to have fun. Like my buddy always says, like, we're not out here killing snakes. This is supposed to be fun. And so this is where we decided that there's a better way to build a mousetrap. And I quit my job in 2016 in medical sales and decided I'm going to design upland bird hunting clothing. And that's where, let's see, next slide. Oops, back one, please. Thank you. Decided to start looking for the right stuff. I bought lots of different things that were out there. I went to various trade shows looking at different textiles to find out what was the best stuff out there. My mother-in-law is a very talented seamstress, and I would have her kind of Frankenstein pants and jackets together for me to test stuff out. And sure enough, I found stuff that was better than anything that was out there. Now the question is, how do I get the stuff made? The professor up here earlier said, entrepreneurs don't compete, they collaborate. And that's really kind of what I did a great job with, is finding, various people throughout the state of Michigan to be able to help me bring my idea, my dream to fruition. And we started building Pike Gear here in Michigan. And we use the best technologies, the same stuff that Patagonia, North Face, Lululemon, all these big companies are using. We're bringing to this small niche market that never had this stuff before. And we're very proud to be showing people, there we go, showing people that there's a better way to do it. As you can see, the market is fairly large. I mean, it's a niche market. I mean, for the grand expanse of things, I mean, we're never going to be Lululemon. But there's 3 million guys and ladies that go out bird hunting every year. There's about 1.5 million of them that are really hardcore about it, like myself, that travel across the country and are going to be hunting and fishing in lots of different conditions, and they want to be able to have the equipment that's going to be able to help them do that. Bird hunting is one area that there seems to be more people getting involved in the hunting space. The hunting space seems to be shrinking a little bit. Bird hunting, probably a lot has to do with people being so excited about using their dogs. It's a very dog-friendly sport, so there's more people that are getting involved in that because of their dogs. Next slide. Obviously, there's a natural progression from bird hunting to fly fishing. A lot of bird hunters fly fish. This represents a much larger opportunity for us in the grand scale of things. But being a small company, we felt that it was much smarter to start out in the niche market of bird hunting and slowly get ourselves into the fly fishing. So this spring we'll be launching the shirt and pants that you see there. That's actually my son out in Montana fly fishing, and we'll be launching those this spring to our customers. So we're pretty excited about that. As far as the company goes, whoops, one too fast. As you can see, we've started out, we did a little soft launch in 2019. Then we had the lovely year of COVID in 2020 where we really should have had a lot more growth, but the manufacturers were making gowns and masks. It seems like a long time ago, but that really hurt our sales. And we went to some other manufacturers, were able to get them up and growing, and then we had the same problem in 2023. Last year, we finally got our manufacturing partners all in line and got most of our stuff in. Still missed a few items, but we hit our targets last year, and we're going to have really good growth from here on out.
Where's the product manufactured today?
Well, we manufacture, like all of our game vests are made actually in Holland, Michigan, and what I would use the money for is actually to create a laser or buy a laser cutter so I could actually help them grow their business and actually bring some more prototyping and stuff like that we do. We all do all of our prototyping in-house. So all of our packs are made in Holland, Michigan. All the pants, unfortunately, we had to offshore to Vietnam. We had it all made in the U.S. But as you can see, 2023, our manufacturer missed every single delivery and darn near put us out of business. I mean, we literally were getting stuff delivered in March and January that was supposed to be delivered in September the year before.
With your 53% returning customer rate, how does that compare with other sports clothing?
You know, that's a good question. I think it's higher from what I've been told from various market. I don't have an exact number for you. I work with a few different marketing companies throughout the country. They said that it's extremely high. They're very happy with that number, but I don't know what the actual number is. I mean, honestly, I'd like to see that number get lower because obviously we're attracting a lot more new customers.
How are customers finding your product? What's your most successful channel, and what is it costing to acquire them?
So we've been doing, we're D2C completely at this particular time. We've done a lot of really good, we started out doing podcasts. That was kind of our big into the market is we got involved with a couple podcasts that were kind of fledgling, but they were now they're the biggest podcasts out there. And they're pretty cheap. You know, we spent less than $10,000 a year advertising with those guys to get our customers. And we do a lot of, you know, Instagram, Facebook, all that other, and, you know, direct consumer, our email list is our most important thing. I mean, when we send out an e-blast, you know, I mean, it works every single time that we send it out there. As far as the actual cost of customer, I don't really have a perfect number for you on that. We're a small company, and I just know what works and double down on things when they do.
And that, similar question, why do your customers, those 53%, why do they love your products?
Well, we're the only ones doing it. That's the first and foremost, and the quality is fantastic. I mean, the one thing that, I got a buddy who hunts about 50 days a year, and I was just visiting him out in Oklahoma, and, you know, we call it sustainability through durability. He's been using the same pair of pants for 5 years. You know, yeah, they're $200, but go buy a $50 pair of Wrangler jeans that you blow out every single year that you're throwing in the trash. You know, and these things work twice as good. You know, the cost of actually using the product is pretty cheap overall.
What's your long-term capitalization strategy? Just cash flow from there, or do you see some inflection points where you're going to recruit some capital?
Yeah, I'd like to recruit some capital at some point. At this point, I really wanted to get the business in line, and we really struggled the first few years getting production and stuff like that. I finally had the production company that's making all of our stuff makes Patagonia, Kuiu, Lululemon, so they're a really good, stable production company, and I finally have that ironed out, and I feel confident that we can deliver our goods. I'll be looking for some excess outside capital here in the next 6 to 12 months to really be able to grow the business from there on out. At this point, I've just bootstrapped it, which, as you can imagine, is very painful at times, especially when you have a year where you have some declining revenue. That's where all the gray hair came from.
So when are you projecting to be profitable? What volume?
We'll be profitable this year. I mean, we were profitable actually in 2022, but that was with me not taking any salary. So, you know, I had to start paying myself a little bit to, you know, keep the boat afloat, and and you know, we had we had an adjusted EBITDA last year of $250,000. So I mean, we have really good. We only invested $30,000 in advertising last year, just because we had to put so much money into getting product in. But there's good long-term profitability there now that we've got the margins built into the stuff and are able to deliver products to the consumers on a timely basis.
So supply chain has not been an issue?
It hasn't been this year, but it was an extreme issue for the first 4 years. I mean, that was why we had to leave the United States for our manufacturing capabilities. They literally, in 2020, they pretty much put us to the back burner and started making masks and gowns, which, they doubled down on that, and unfortunately put them out of business because that business dried up a lot faster than they thought it would, and if they would have been sticking with us, they probably would have done better, and we would have done better, But no, now we've got the supply chain completely under control, and we actually are working with a couple other manufacturers just in case, you have an issue with a factory burning down or whatnot. We will have some backup capabilities as well.
Last question, really grateful that you said women and men who
Yes.
hunt and fish and all of the above. What part of the business is related to female apparel?
At this point, we don't have anything. We're working, my lead designer is a female, and she is an amazing, she has 2 English setters, and it's a small niche within a niche market. So we're working at, and as you can imagine, the size range of pants, guys are pretty easy to fit. Ladies it's a little bit more difficult, but we're actually working right now on developing a size run of pants, because the pant I'm wearing right now is called our Tongass pants. I mean, people wear it to work. I mean, it's a lifestyle pant that people wear because it's so comfortable, and it'll be a great pant for the ladies. We're just working on getting the size run set up, and the fishing shirts and stuff like that will be unisex, so that will be great for a lot of the ladies out there.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
All right, there's our time. Great job. Thank you so much, Brent. 3 left. Let's make a big round of applause and welcome our next pitcher. If we can please welcome Evan Bevier of Terra Hike.
All right, wonderful. Thank you for the warm welcome. My name is Evan Bevier. I'm actually a graduate from NMU in mechanical engineering technology, so I'm very, very excited to be back here and to tell you about my company, Terra Hike Outdoors. So at Terra Hike Outdoors, we are all about getting people to go outside more, right? And so our mission in that is to provide them with the gear that's gonna, make them want to get out, make it easier for them, and specifically to give them a solution to hiking and camping problems that we see often. But what are these problems really? Slide, please. So the big problem that tents are a hassle. They are. So whether it be complicated instructions, lengthy setup and takedown times, or even after the fact that you have to fit it back into your backpack, we believe that your gear should work for you and not against you. And so what is the solution to this? Well, there's our solution. Introducing the Trek Tent. So the Trek Tent is a first of its kind design. It's a hiking stick that actually transforms into your tent, right? And it does this in just about 1 minute, and it sets down in 90 seconds. Being a first of its kind design, we did get a utility patent pending with the USPTO. Slide, please. We got a video on this one, if you could help me out there. So how does it actually work? It actually is going to work kind of like an umbrella, where you go into unstrap the Velcro strap, the fabric is going to roll out, exposing the frame, and that frame is going to pivot out at each end, kind of like an A-frame style tent, right? So, and then the telescoping segments are going to expand and stretch the fabric out into place, and you're all done. And so that's really it. It's pretty simple. Got a video there, so I think next slide, please. While I am leading, I'm founder and CEO of Terra Hike. I do have a great team that I'm grateful for at Innovate Marquette Smart Zone, whose valuable guidance, connections, resources have been a huge help in this journey. But beyond that, we are partnering with other fulfillment services within the state of Michigan as well. So when it comes to marketing opportunity, we all know, or many of us know, that the outdoor rec industry is really big right now, $1.2 trillion. Within that, we're going to see the camping and hiking gear market that's around $8.6 billion. We're really looking at those, the people within that market that, time-constrained individuals, busy professionals, young families, or even just casual campers. That's going to be our market right there. It's a $500 million market. But our strategy, while I did say it's the first to market, that's going to be a big thing for us, but our real go-to-market strategy is going to be similar to that of a flywheel model, where that industry growth is really going to drive those newcomers. And we're going to be looking at those newcomers. We're going to retain them, focus on trust, build loyalty with these customers, and then we're going to be listening to them, refine the product, and cycle repeats. So here's some of our pro forma financials. I would say that growth is really driven by starting with a crowdfunding campaign, scaling our business through consumer sales, e-commerce, and eventual retail partnerships is what we're really looking to do here. Competition, a lot of things you see, people are looking for their tents. They want to fast and set up and take down time. Is it compact? Is it lightweight? Or is it freestanding or not? So this is something that our product is going to check all those boxes, as you can see next to our competitors. And this is a lot, we hear from events that we've done, we hear, I can't believe this hasn't been done before, where can I buy this? We've gotten the same kind of reaction, that double take, like, whoa, really, is that really what this is? It's kind of cool. And so that gives us some confidence in this idea, so. So now we are asking for $65,000 to meet our MOQ, as well as fund our first marketing campaign for initial inventory. And with that, thank you all so much for listening, and let's get outside.
All right, time for some questions.
I guess I'll ask a question. I'm interested if you're looking at private labeling, meaning developing under somebody else's name that has a really good
like a licensing
market,
kind of deal.
REI, yeah.
We have, yeah, and that's, we're really going to try it with crowdfunding and build an audience and say, hey, is this there? And, if that seem like the right way to go, that's going to be something that those folks will want to see. Is there traction? Is there a market for this?
Yeah, it's a really novel innovation. I give you a lot of credit for the design. And
thank you.
Not unlike when they had the first folding chairs, right? And
yeah.
So there's private labeling opportunities. Second question, where are you manufacturing this now? Where are you plan to manufacture it in the future?
So right now, this is overseas in China, connection I made through the Innovate Marquette Smart Zone. If we can get it back here in the States, I'd love to do it, for a number of reasons. But for now, that's what we're going to start with, easy way in.
Can you talk about any customer discovery you've done and who you think your initial customer persona might be?
Yeah, so good question. We have done a lot, probably about 40 sit-down, face-to-face customer discoveries sessions, as well as a number of events. And the big takeaway is with tents is they want it to be quick to set up and take down, but also to stuff it back in the backpack. That was the big takeaway, so that's what we're focusing on there. The other part of your question was? Apologies.
Oh, just describe your ideal customer persona.
From social media marketing has been mentioned, and it's great to get insights. But so, 25 to 34-year-old fathers, big one, and young families, busy professionals. That's like the ideal person we see, and that's from the insights too. It's not just me saying, "Hey, that's what's it."
So you had a marketing in your budget going forward. What specific activities are you planning? What's the cost of them?
Social media marketing is a big one. We're familiar with it. We kind of understand. I grew up on Instagram and all that, so I kind of understand what to look for, the trends, and it's worked for us so far. We've been on social media for not very long. Just recently started doing ads and got a lot of traction. So we're going to continue that and just kind of ride that wave.
Adding on to that, are you just going to sell in the U.S. or North America first before you go outside?
So we did launch a crowdfunding campaign starting on Tuesday, actually, of this week, so really kind of crazy timing with all this. But we've got about 9 countries, that are the most outdoor recreation, according to sources. So we're going to kind of give that a little test run, see, where are people buying this from and where are they shipping it to. And if it seems like a good play, then we'll continue with those countries.
Did your marketing research give you good information on what is the market for hiking sticks in general? And then
Right.
how many of the people that use hiking sticks also use tents? And then the subset of the market that would use both?
Right. Well, there are innovations where maybe you've heard of not freestanding tents where they use a trekking pole to be held up. So that's kind of where the industry is, where the market is. And it's proven there. This is just a slight adaptation of it. And from customer discovery, we have, from these people that have used these tents, they're really interested in this because it's familiar but novel, right? So it's not like totally crazy to kind of take this extra step. So we feel good about that market.
Do you have an idea what the cost point is going to be for this and margin? If I missed it, I apologize.
Oh, that's okay. Don't think I mentioned it. So right now we have the quote from the manufacturer, and its price per unit is $60. There's probably going to be a few more bells and whistles at this point that we're going to add. So there's been a little bit of we added to it a little bit just to be safe. But then our cost that we're thinking per unit is $199. Just for the standard unit, and that seems to resonate with kind of that middle market that we're really looking for here.
All right, and that's our time. Thank you so
Wonderful.
much.
Thanks so much.
All right, thank you, Evan. Great job. Up next, we have 2 more. Up next, our second to last finalist here. So we had Evan, and now we have Kevin with Trail Eagle Packs. Let's give it up for Kevin.
Hi everyone, my name is Kevin Burnett and I'm the co-founder of Trail Eagle Packs. So for 2 summers, I did professional trail work in New Mexico. While there, everyone on my work crew was complaining about the same thing. The backpacks we were using were tough to organize, tough to get gear, hard to access. The reason this was is because it lacks internal organization. Most backpacks are one big pocket. It's very easy to shove stuff in, pack a lot in, but organizing and accessing that gear easily is very, very tough. This creates 2 big problems: inefficient packing and disorganized storage. When you're out in the woods and you need something immediately, it's very important that you can get it immediately. And when you can't, it really creates a bad user experience. This is our solution, the Trail Origin 75. In under 30 seconds, you can easily access and organize all your gear. It's priced at $445. Our Kickstarter that we launched on January 28th is 37% funded, and we're offering at 22% off MSRP for $345. We're also plan to go to retail, and we're going to offer a 50% margin for retailers at $222. Where we stand with competitors. On average, we're 13% above. Our goal is to get to 50%, so we have room to grow and room to improve our design. Our closest competitor we'd like to compare ourselves to is Mystery Ranch. Most other backpacks don't have our pack organization. Some have better gear access, yes. Better materials across the board, better comfort across the board, but with the combination of gear access and organization, that's what sets us apart. This year, we plan to sell 620 packs. This includes the Kickstarter and retail sales. We plan to grow rapidly, given the fact we will be expanding our product lines to different outdoor use cases and different accessories. Currently, the recent data shows the outdoor gear market is $28 billion. 23% has historically been out backpacks. Our goal is to capture $64 million of this global outdoor share. Currently, we're on track to file our second provisional patent for our backpack design by the end of February. We have testing in 3 locations: Ontario for search and rescue, New Mexico with conservation, and with Michigan DNR, right in our home state. It's me. I'm a current undergrad at MSU, graduating in December. My co-founder, he goes to Ohio Northern University. We're both Eagle Scouts. We both were Scouts. We were both in scouting our whole lives. We both did trail work. So really, where we found this problem, really being in the space. Utilizing $20,000 of non-dilutive funding, we've been able to really create a number of MVPs, and we've been able to hike with our packs ourselves, which frankly is a really, really awesome experience. While at CES earlier this year, we were able to engage with hundreds of visitors. Of those who stopped by our booth, 89% expressed interest and liked our pack design. We have a wealth of strategic connections. Most notably, we just added Scouting America to that list. They'll be doing a blog post on us on the 24th and reposting that on their socials. We plan to expand that larger as our message resonates with theirs, as our histories are very tied together. Use of funds. Going forward to meet our next strategic goals, we plan to use the 4 key areas: production, marketing, operations, and R&D. By investing of money in these 4 key areas, we're able to grow our product lines and grow our business. Get ready and pack like a pro with Tri-Eagle Packs.
Got time for questions. Go for it.
So any consideration to partnering or seeing if it would be a possibility with the Department of Defense?
That's one of the key areas we plan to expand into. We see a lot of B2B options with the conservation space and military use case.
Very good. Nice job.
Thank you.
What's the profile of the folks that are buying on the Kickstarter, and what have you learned from the customers that you have so far?
Yeah, so we haven't gotten feedback from our PAX testing just yet, but in terms of our Kickstarter, I do believe we're trying to target 30 to 50-year-olds who like the outdoors. They can be conservation professionals. They don't have to be, but they have to be out in the outdoor space. Our pack is on the higher and premium end, so they have to have some disposable income.
And why would that population be buying your product over others?
I do think specifically the outdoor professionals is because when you're using it at that high level, it's so much more important. If you're doing just a light camping, maybe for a weekend with your family, you're not going to have that use case immediately until we can expand into some of those other markets. But in those niche use cases, this pack will come in handy.
You have a good presentation, novel product. Can you talk a little bit about, are you at a prototyping level right now? Or have you done low volume?
This is the pack
testing with,
that's live on Kickstarter right now, yes.
but have you produced a number of prototypes to be tested with hikers and others?
This is the most recent one. We had a prototype before this that we had a chance to hike with, so this is really an improved version of that.
Okay. And what's the manufacturing strategy? Where are you planning to manufacture?
Currently, we're based out of Hong Kong for our manufacturing end-to-end. We plan to nearshore or bring it into the U.S. for mass production.
Thanks.
Are you contemplating different sizes for the backpacks? And is there anything unique or proprietary about the fabric that you're using, or is it all in the design?
Great question. We plan to expand this down next to a 55-liter pack that can be brought on a plane. can travel around Europe with a 55-liter pack. That's, expands our market drastically. And we also plan to expand into a 100-liter conservation bag. That's where me and my co-founder's expertise really is, and I know I can make that pack in my hand. And then in terms, what was the other question again?
Whether there's anything unique about the fabric you're using, will you be evolving that, or is it a traditional backpack kind of fabric?
Our designs are going to be constantly evolving, where this is currently a high quality polyester. As we kind of grow the company, we plan to test lots of different materials. If needed, we will create our own fabric.
Have you thought about any private labeling strategies or other strategies to leverage the brands, your competing brands, with your novel design?
I would be open to any opportunity to get our pack out there. I think beyond, making sales, our goal is just to make an impact in the outdoor industry as well. This, I think, way we problem solve our packing systems, we can make a better experience for every outdoor hiker. So.
What's your, I know you touched on it, but can you double click on your customer acquisition strategy?
Yeah, so that's fine right there. Currently, we plan to, I think, get through the retailers. As a scout, whenever I went to get outdoor gear, I would trust REI or Cabela's or other places to kind of have that gear that we need to hike with and camp with. So we plan our initial sales, we're probably going to target some local retailers in Michigan, then get our foot in the door. The Michigan-based scouting groups, scout shops have expressed interest in selling our backpacks as well. So I think if we can maybe get those as first customers, then expand from there.
All right, thank you so much. That was great. I just thought of I'd like that for, I have little kids, I'm like diaper bag, right? Like wipes first, then the diapers, then new clothes if it's like a double leg blowout. Like, none of you have kids yet, if there's the students probably. But all right, so what a great job. Thank you so much. And we are to our final finalist with our outdoor innovation pitch. So if we could put our hands together and make some noise for Susie Grace with Valor Skincare.
We're all here because we love the outdoors. Whether we're out on a walk, ripping down a single track, watching sunset, riding waves, searching for morels, we all love being outside. And no matter who you are or where you venture out, we all have one thing in common. We all have skin. How many people here tonight have skin? Can I get a show of hands? Anyone have skin? Great. It's nice to know I'm in the right place. Hi, everyone. I'm Susie Grace. I'm the founder of Valor Skincare. We are an outdoor skincare brand, and we've been in business for just over 2 years. We're from Traverse City, Michigan. When we do venture out, we're always told to invest in the best gear. Whether it's wetsuits, boots, helmets, jackets, we do this because protection matters. So why not protect our skin as well? After all, our skin is our first line of defense against sun, wind, cold, and pollution. And it's also our largest organ. If we prepare with gear, shouldn't we do the same for our skin? The problem is that most people think that this is what skincare looks like. Most mainstream brands focus on reactive solutions for wrinkles and aging, often marketing to women through vanity-driven messaging. But real skin, especially skin exposed to the outdoors, needs more. It needs proactive, protective care to stay healthy in any environment. Shoot. Oh, there we go. And even worse, the waste generated by the skincare industry is devastating the very places we all love. That's where Valor Skincare steps in. We create non-gender, natural, functional skincare packaged in sustainable packaging. Here's our video of our top-selling product. Oh, yeah. Do you ever wonder why you need water in your face wash? Did you know that 70 to 80% of all skincare products is water? The reason water is added is to be a filler and a conditioner to keep the product shelf stable. And what we've done here with our top-selling product, what the judges have, and I have samples if anyone wants any after, what we've done is taken the water out, or we formulated without the water, so that I can put it in home compostable packaging. Also, it's formulated with less terrible ingredients. All right, so the skincare market is massive. It's $22.9 billion in the US alone. But when a market gets this large, you can start to poke holes and see where there's opportunities to be innovative. A lot of consumers, or most consumers, are looking for natural, functional, sustainable products. And that's where Valor fits in. We cross over the sun care, the anti-pollution, all making products for outdoor folks. This is a screen of a couple of brands I've identified as competitors. It's crazy to me that they're making products for outdoor lovers and they're doing so in plastic containers. Even Freaks of Nature, who's Kelly Slater's brand, is putting it in plastic, and that's really unfortunate because, like I said, we all love the outdoors. Why would we ruin it? Oh, okay, so our business model. Direct to consumer, we have our website, we have retail partnerships, we have subscriptions delivered seasonally with specific products, or monthly if people choose. A big thing we have done is collaborating. We collaborate with sustainable brands, conservation efforts, and then a way I have advertised is teaming with short-term rentals in Traverse City. We get so many tourists from across the country, across the world now as well. And so having them come to Traverse City, having my products in the short-term rentals is a way I've gotten my awareness up. And then they go home, they purchase from the website, and then they also tell their friends. Another thing we have going for us, and we're really prioritizing, is brand. We're a 1% for the Planet member. We team with Heart of the Lakes. We have a space where we make everything, but we'll also have pop-ups to help support other local businesses for awareness for them. That is the hardest thing, I feel like, to have a product company, is getting awareness for people. So we want to help support our community, also help support people getting on skateboards, doing things that make people feel like they're courageous, overcoming, doing things they've never done before. That's a big part of our brand. Also, a lot of our growth has been on people just telling their friends, buying it for their friends, shipping it to them. And so I've been researching for the referral program and starting that to incentivize people that are already doing it. A little bit about me: I'm 100% owner and operator. I'm very active. I used to be, I'm no longer, the number 2 peddler in the Midwest. My work experience is I worked for Nash, which is a global surf company, and I also was a creative director for M22, which is a Michigan brand. And then my partner, Brock, is my CFO and advisor, and then we employ one person who helps me in the making process. All right, the financials. Trailing 12 months is $49,000. I'm super proked about it because we haven't advertised yet, or we don't run any advertising. Sales growth is over 102 year over year in the 2 years. Expectations is to continue to double or triple. Lifetime values based on a 3-year estimate of 480. My retention is extremely high at 52%, and I have 15 retail partners currently, and I tripled that in the last year. I've raised $0. I've built this brand. I've built everything. All of the formulas are mine, just off of a lot of hustle, a lot of hustle and a lot of passion. And also my ask is $50,000. The way I've operated so far is iteratively. I feel like asking for a lot of money is not a, I don't want to say smart, but I feel like it's not a progressive way to go, especially in such a large market. So that is the ask. And this is my last slide. These are some reviews I've gotten recently that you can read as we're answering questions. So thank you so much.
All right, time for our Q&A session.
Can you tell us a little bit more about how your formulations are being developed and how you're testing the efficacy of your products? And how many products do you have?
I have 18 products. So when I first started, I hired a skincare chemist to teach me a lot about pH and ratios and just like what is needed in the formulas. I go off of that. A lot of my products aren't like crazy. You know, it's really basic, really nature-based, which is essentially what larger companies are doing. They're just replicating what is natural to make it more cost-efficient. That's why they do it, to make the synthetic. But yeah, the testing, I do my testing myself currently. I am also started engaging with a bulk manufacturer so that for like twofold, for them to make the products for me, so I'm not in the lab making, but also the efficacy and making sure everything's just legit, more legit. But then also I can go out and sell more and build the brand and everything like that, so yeah.
Great product. I mean, we need more natural skincare products, biodegradable packaging. Love it. I imagine you're doing all the production or the formulations in Traverse City. Is that correct?
Yeah, I have a studio there or lab where I make everything.
Okay. And then the 50,000 you're asking for, what would they go to exactly? Scaling up the production or marketing or a combination?
Combination. The priority would be for the bulk manufacturer to get them going. I'm starting to get such large orders that I really am just making products, and that's all I do. And so having that taken off my shoulders, it would create a better product, and then also help me go out, like I said. But then also marketing. You know, I've worked in marketing before, and I know what's possible and how effective it is. And once I get that once you have the products right and everything's kind of set in the right position, that's when you apply marketing, and that's where I feel like I'm at right now.
What made you take the leap and start this company?
So 8 years ago, I had a late-term pregnancy loss, which I don't like to talk about a lot, but it's actually a really important thing to talk about. I had a late-term pregnancy loss that left me with no answers. No conventional medicine did, and so I started just researching ingredients and researching how little the FDA regulates a lot of ingredients that are put into conventional products and everything, all the personal care. It's just crazy. I got so scared that I started making my own products because I was just like, I can't use that, and most natural products aren't that great, so I'm just going to make my own. And so I wasn't planning on starting a brand, but I made it for me. I made it for my loved ones. They started telling me they loved it, and then started pushing it out on everyone, and they said it helped. Once someone said it helped them, I was like, maybe I should start a brand. I don't know. So it's really been just like my hustle, my passion for protecting people and taking care. But now, because I am an athlete, an outdoor person, that's why the outdoor industry, it makes sense to me. It is me. I don't fit into the other skincare molds, but we all have skin, like I said. So So yeah, just created from an unfortunate situation, but it's created something really beautiful. So
That's awesome. Thanks for sharing that.
yeah.
So great story, great mission, great passion, all of the above. And genuine impact come from scale, right? So you're at 50K right now. What's your specific, in a minute or less, your specific strategy from 50K to 5 million to 50 million to really generate, to magnify the impact, which is really what you want to do?
Yeah, one thing I want to mention is what's really cool is the compounding. You know, once I reach someone and I have 52% retention, you know, it's constantly compounding. And so my goal right now is to go to the 4-state Midwest outdoor retailers. There isn't really skincare in any outdoor retailer outside of lip balm. And so that's a hole in the market, that's a potential place, and I have a list actually of all the outdoor retailers. So getting in with them, incentivizing my people that are so passionate about the products that are already telling their friends. I feel like getting them on board and having a referral program will kind of assist getting in the retail stores. And then I think applying marketing. You know, I didn't want to initially do marketing because there's so many skincare brands. You know, how do I differentiate? So I didn't want to waste money. So, yeah.
What's a typical margin on a product like this? Like, what are you retailing for? What's your cost of goods sold? I know it varies by formula, but.
Yeah, so that one has a glass container and then a refill, and so it's 18 and 15 for the refill. My margins, depending on my products, that one's a lower because I want everyone to use that one. It's about 40%, so I go as high as like 55% in some of my products, so yeah.
All right, that's our time. Let's give it up for Susie Grace. Let's give a big round of applause to all of our outdoor innovation pitchers as well as our big pitchers. At this time, I need to send our judges to do their scoring because we've got some awards. We have for the outdoor innovation, everybody take out your phones right now. I see some of you doing it. I got to get out of the way, Bill. To do that QR code, remember you just need to enter that PIN, but our judges are going to go score here right now. You do not need to leave here. It's going to go pretty quick. Our judges are going to be quick and efficient in their deliberations. You're good. You can leave your stuff. So this is not easy what they just did. I think we can all agree to that. But I would like to get you some more information. So I'd like to introduce Vaughn from Innovate Marquette, who is going to come talk a little bit about the Outdoor Summit and some of the things that have been going on. Make some noise for Vaughn.
Hello, everybody. I just want to start out and say thank you all for being here at the pitch competitions. Everybody did really, really awesome, so super stoked for them. And you might see on the screen a little bit of a tie-in here with outdoor innovation. So I'm Vaughn, like I said, and I work with Innovate Marquette. And one of the initiatives that I've been able to kind of be an assistant to and help organize is ORION, which is an acronym for Outdoor Recreation Innovation Action Network, mouthful. But what we do essentially is it's a large collaborative of a bunch of different stakeholders in the area. So whether that's outfitters, educators, economic development organizations, and really, you know, anything in between, what we want to do essentially is lean into the outdoor recreation assets that we have here in the UP. Right now, ORION was kind of focused on the central UP with hopes of expanding that to the UP as a whole in the future. ORION is made up of numerous organizations, but it was funded by a grant from the EDA that was applied for by Innovate Marquette and QPAD, which hopefully I got this one right, the Central Upper Peninsula Planning and Development Regional Commission. Somebody check me on that one. But part of what we're doing, and part of that grant, was to create the UP's first ever outdoor summit, and that's what I'm inviting you to now. And we're in this planning stages, but we do have a save the date picked out, which is May 16th. I hope all of the outdoor innovation pitch competitors get to come back up with products for us to, you know, demo and purchase or just check out and hopefully review and test. But what we're going to be doing mainly is reviewing 2 different studies that are going on right now with Upland and TIP strategies. And what those are essentially are outdoor recreation innovation growth strategies to see how we can really lean into those assets. And what I mean by that isn't just, taking advantage of the environment and sending a lot of tourism in one spot, or focusing on, selling a bunch of products at Downwind Sports or anything like that, but more so a wide variety of those different things so we can better protect the resource, but also protect the economy here, and maybe lean more into, like I said, outdoor rec versus things that we've leaned into in the past, like mining and lumber. So May 16th, we will be hosting the Outdoor Summit at Northern Michigan again. I know we're in the midst of an event right now, but I'm inviting you to another one. Hope to see you there. It is a one-day conference, and yeah, I hope you can go. It's a cool event for a good cause, so hopefully you can check it out. Thank you.
Thanks, Vaughn. Don't know what's my next slide. Perfect. We're gonna give away some stuff. Eric, come on out here. And I think we have some helpers. So, did anybody ride a moon bike yesterday? Did anybody see from Bates Bikes that looks like, I feel like it's snowmobile meets motorcycle? Well, we have 4 guided moon bike tours from Bates Bikes, as well as you get a Peak backpack cooler. Probably wear the backpack while you're moon biking. And then, so we have 5 prizes to give away, and then we have a 3D printer. Eric's gonna have to tell him what you do with the 3D printer.
Yeah, absolutely. So this is in a collaboration with our new Proto Lab. They're actually opening up to the public. So anyone can actually submit files for printing, whether that be something you can find online, or if you broke something in your home, we're able to design something for you that way. So in that case, in the spirit of that, we are giving away a 3D printer. This is a Bamboo Labs A1. Now, many people may say, I don't know how to run a 3D printer. My father, who is 67 years old, runs his 3D printer. It is very intuitive. These things just run now. And yeah, there's just a ton of fun. And whoever wins it, if they do have questions, I'm happy to answer them.
All right, we're going to announce some winners for these prizes. We'll give out the Bates Bikes experiences with the coolers first. The gift certificates are inside there. Hopefully you're here if you win. So do I have Hope Bennett? Are you here? Hope Bennett? Are we saying present to win? Like, what are we? Huh? Yeah. Okay. Do I have Audrey Mitten? Audrey Mitten? Oh no! Come on! I need someone to come up here and be excited. This is like The Price is Wrong right now. We need The Price is Right. Okay, we're mixing them up. Do I have Tess? Tess, are you here? Tess? We'll put it right here. Good job, Tess. All right. We have one more bag. Matthew Sarka? Is it Sarka? Sarah? Sarna? I'm not sure. The pen looked like it. Do you live on 1303 Lincoln? I didn't give out the phone number. All right. I'm saying you have to be here to win this 3D printer. I'm making a gut call here because I also don't want to put this back in my office. I have moved this thing 4 times. Nope, well, all right. Do I have a Eli Famanu? Oh my gosh. All right, you're not, Eli F. Is anybody named Eli here? Nope, okay. Giuseppe Capello? Giuseppe, are you here? He's not here. Yay for him, but he's not winning. Someone's walking home with this thing. Brian Miller? I will keep going, people. I can embrace. We got all day. They're also scoring. It says Con Davis. Con Davis. Oh my gosh. Okay, we're gonna keep going. I will. Josiah Yeats. Taryn Anderson. Oh my gosh. Jenna Smith. I just saw her in here. Jenna. It will happen. Aaron O'Keefe. Yes. Yes. You have to walk up here and get it. All right. All right. We do have the winners for these three, so we'll call them and email them and have them come pick it up. But come on up here. You have to come take a picture. You're going to hate this. I can see it. I can see it right now that you're not happy that you have to come up here. But you get to hang out with Eric and learn about 3D printing. Here, you can take these. Eric, we need to do a picture here. Did you walk here? We will figure out how to get it to you if that's too much. 3D print a car, yes. Or a longboard. We can get one of those longboards. So, all right, we'll meet you after the awards. So right after this, as the awards, when we announce our winners here, we will have a reception out front here in the lobby of the Forrest Roberts Theater. I do need to give a big shout out to NMU AV and the Forrest Roberts Theater student staff for helping with the tech all around and the 3 different venues for Peak 25. So let's give a big round of applause to them for handling all this. It's a lot. I do want to give a big shout out, if you weren't there last night, for our Flannels and Flames innovation party put on by Embers Credit Union, where we had the research summit. Big shout out to Graduate Studies with 3MT and all of those things happening. Woo woo, let's go. We have done a lot of great things at Peak, and we really are glad to connect with you. Shout out to Bates Bikes. I'm serious, if you have not tried one of those moon bikes, it is like a shot of adrenaline straight to the heart. It's awesome. Radio Results Network, thanks for helping promote. Double Trouble, thanks for donating some gear. I don't know if there's another slide. I think there is, maybe. Okay, our Peak partners, again, Northern Michigan University College of Graduate Studies and Research, Shine. If you weren't if you missed any of the Sustainability Summit that happened this week, boy, did you miss out. It was unreal. It was so good. I know that we've had people travel from France to be at this thing, so big shout out to People International Conference. If you can't tell, I'm stretching a little bit because I don't see my awards, but I think they're coming here shortly. NMU College of Business for the Big Pitch. We brought the Big Pitch over here about 5 years ago, and it's been really exciting. I'm going to do my next slide. Oop. Okay, so we're getting closer to our awards. Did we do it? You're going to write it down for me. Okay, so we're almost there. Perfect. Okay, perfect. You can go. You don't have to do it right here. We're going to definitely be coming back. And if you didn't know, we had our Ascent series that happened this year. There were events that led up to Innovation Week, different design experiences, different opportunities to pitch. We had our mini pitch that was put on where students, high school students and college students actually just submitted a 3-minute video of themselves talking about their product, and we had winners of that. Some of them were here this week participating in Peak as well. The goal is, and you'll see more for next year, for Peak 26, see, we're going to count up here for a while. Peak 26 will have these Ascent series, and you can find a track. And the goal is that you can come here on Northern's campus and work with Innovate Marquette and SISU and College of Graduate Studies, College of Business, all the different partners, and find a new peak, a new thing to climb each year in innovation and in creativity. Because it takes a community. We're trying to make a stronger UP, a stronger region, and all of you being here, I need you to give yourselves a big round of applause, because that's huge. It really is. I hope you learned something today. I think I learned that we have awards. Yeah, all right, we got our finalists. We got our winners. So I need to introduce Dr. Corinne Bodman to the stage to announce our award winners. Yes. Let's give her a big round of applause. Remember, many of those students, this is their first time doing it, and she took a lot of work and care. You heard her call them hers, and she really does mean that. She cares about every one of those students, and it shows in the way she works. So she gets to announce the award winners. And we're going to, as we announce, we have some big checks. They're literally giant checks.
so which one's first? Can you hear me? Okay, no. This is ours. Okay, so this is trade show winner. All right. The trade show winner goes to Chris and Recycle. Woo! No, you can hand it to him. I got it. Way to go, Chris. Woohoo! You want? Which one do we have next? Crowd favor? You want to do crowd favor next? Okay. Okay. The crowd favorite goes to Adam Hopp and Verdant Vessels. Woo! Congratulations. Take your check. They don't cash, though. Take it to Embers.
Become Happy Gilmore at some point, you know.
Yeah. Well done, dude.
Thank you.
All right. Which one's next? You got to stay, Adam. Stay. Sit. Stay. Shake. Well, we made him stay. Okay, big pitch. Yeah. This is the pitch. Yeah. Okay. The big pitch winner is Verdant Vessels. Are we doing more pictures?
I don't know. Congrats again. Thank you.
Okay, we're doing more pictures. She's standing there. We got to move over.
Move over a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah, we got to move over.
There we go. I want the name of your professor. I do. All right, very good. And finally, what one is this? First place. Goes to Chris and Recycle. Woo! And this is actually the business model canvas winner. This is his business model canvas was worthy of first place. Woo! Well done, guys. You're welcome. Take this.
I got to take the picture. Thank you.
I don't think she wanted to do that. You can stay right there. Winners are staying out here because we're gonna do a big group picture. So, all right, I'd like to introduce Aubrey from Innovate Marquette here.
Hello, I'm back. Congratulations. Now we're going to announce our innovation winners for outdoor innovation pitch. First, we're going to start with our crowd favorite. So that is thanks to all of you for voting. So congratulations, our crowd favorite is Valor Skincare. Yeah, wait, you take a picture out there. Vaughn, you can. Awesome, and you can stay out here with them actually. So our Make It in Michigan Award, this is up to $5,000 in product development services with Centropolis Accelerator and Innovate Marquette, and that goes to Morphite Boards. Congratulations, and the grand prize winner, this is up to $50,000 in investment from the Michigan Outdoor Innovation Fund, goes to Brace. Congratulations. We're going to take a couple photos with the judges, but you're all welcome to come up here and get your own photos after and join us for a reception out in the lobby. There's free food, so please enjoy. Thank you so much. Here's Bill.
Oh, yeah, there we go. Great job, everybody. Thank you so much. We're going to get some group photos here, so if we could have people come out, and if you want to come up, let's do it. Thank you, everybody, for being here, and thank you, Peak 25. Let's celebrate. There's a hosted bar out there. That's free drinks.